All right, today we are going to continue our lessons on the jazz era. I have a short little video for you to watch, and so we're going to watch that together. And then after the video, I'll introduce you to your writing activity that you're going to be working on. And when you're done, you will play a booklet on the jazz era. So here we go. Let's start with that video.
But jazz is like love. It's something we recognize when we encounter it. It's very hard to define.
One of the hallmarks of jazz is improvisation. And so you're responding to lots of things, ideas that you have in your head, things that you know, things that are coming at you in a millisecond. You really want to lose yourself in the music, and you don't know what's coming out of you. But the only thing that's coming out of you is what's inside of you.
Jazz expresses core American values: freedom, risk-taking, cultural diversity, innovation, creative collaboration, and democracy.
When you see me coming, baby, raise your window up high.
In a democracy, everybody gets a vote. In a good jazz band, everybody gets a voice.
It's inclusive. And I think that's the wonderful thing about jazz, but also about this country, is that we all have the opportunity to have a voice. And to me, jazz epitomizes that.
You better hang your head and cry.
By the turn of the 20th century, New Orleans had long been a veritable cultural melting pot. Out of that unique culture would be born a new form of African American music, a blend of African, Latin, and European forms and styles. This music would be called jazz.
In the early days, jazz was played primarily by African American musicians, and they often played it in the red light districts of New Orleans.
In 1917, the military closed the New Orleans red light district. But by that time, the music had caught the attention of a young man who lived in the neighborhood. His name was Louis Armstrong, and he would go on to become a sensation in New Orleans. Jazz was one of the most innovative and original forms of African American cultural expression. Yet, the first jazz recording was made by an all-white band from New Orleans. Their songs sold over 1 million copies and introduced a watered-down form of jazz to a broader American audience. But it was a group of black soldiers who would take jazz itself to an international audience.
During World War I, James Reese Europe was a leader in the Harlem Hellfighters, a segregated troop of African American soldiers, but he was also a very gifted musician and composer. He started a band of black military men who played the new music throughout Europe, and even after the war was over, that band continued to spread jazz throughout the Western world.
With the talents of pioneers such as Buddy Bolden and Jelly Roll Morton, Bessie Smith and Mamie Smith, as well as Armstrong and Ellington, the music became so popular that the Roaring Twenties came to be known as the Jazz Age. From its humble and controversial origins, jazz had become the first original, sophisticated instrumental music in American history.
I don't think you can go through thinking about American music without touching on jazz and realizing that at some point jazz is what created R&B, is what led to rock and roll, is what led to the songs that you can listen to in your car today.
It has influenced language. It has influenced fashion. It has influenced social interaction.
Jazz and culture are inextricably linked. You can't tell the story of America without jazz. Jazz is America, and America is jazz.
Okay, so you have watched the video. We are going to discuss that a little bit more when I come back to you, but this will be your connection to the video you just watched. We are going to take an article called The Jazz Era. You are going to read through the article, and you are going to come up with some questions for me that you pull from the article. So the first thing you would do is you're going to go to your music Canvas page, and on the main page is an area that says click here to read the Jazz Era article. So you will click that link and the article is going to pop up. And you can see on my screen on the right hand side is the article. Okay, that's what you are reading. There are several paragraphs. So you'll read through the article and you are looking for information on that surprised you. What in the article surprised you? What in the article feels important that if you had to share something with others, you would pull that information to share? So let's take a look. I'm going to take an article about ragtime to jazz, so it's not the same article you're reading, but I would take it and I would look through my first paragraph and I would read through the paragraph. Then I read the last paragraph. It says, or the last sentence, it says, to rag a song meant to drag out certain notes and rearrange music to make it livelier. It was called syncopation. So when I read this paragraph, that was the sentence that surprised me. I think that's an important fact, so that's what I'm going to turn into my question. So I've highlighted what I want, so you will, on your article, figure out what sentence you want or what fact you want, and then you're going to take it and you're going to make a question out of it. So you will get a piece of paper that looks like this. You're going to be creating 4 questions from the article. I would prefer that you have 1 question from a different paragraph. So each question should come from a different paragraph. So here we go. An example. I had the one about syncopation, okay, what I highlighted in yellow. So I go here and I put ragtime music has a blank beat. That's my question. And then I'm going to give 4 different answers. One is correct and the others are not correct, but it might confuse the reader because they are very similar. So what you're trying to do is you are creating a Blooket question. You have 1 right answer and then 3 incorrect answers that are related to the topic. So I wouldn't go in and put cat, dog, bear, syncopated, because then it would be really obvious that syncopated is the answer. So you just want to go in and come up with some other answers that could possibly be it. They're not it, but they would be similar. Okay, so you're going to read the article. You're going to create your 4 questions. You'll circle the correct answer for each question. And then when you are finished, you are step 1, you're going to turn, it says turn into Mrs. Young. This is from a PowerPoint I was using. You're going to turn it into the sub. And then step 2, you're going to go to your Canvas music page and select one of the Jazz Era Blookets to play. That's right on my main Canvas page. You're going to use your first and last name for your nickname so you can get credit for completing. So I do need your first and last name. And then when you're done with that Blooket, you have a couple of options. You can go to your Canvas music page and work on one of the piano pieces on my main page. Or if you've got those done, so remember you had a choice between Jingle Bells Easy, Jingle Bells Hard, Do You Want to Build a Snowman, and then the other songs on the page. If you have those all done, then you can move on to step 4, which is center choice. Keyboards, push all the buttons till your heart's content or play one of those songs. The 9-piece puzzles, they are on my side wall over by the windows. Please no tower building, tossing, throwing, anything like that. Just complete the puzzle. Or you can play another one of the Blookets that are on my music Canvas page. So you have plenty to do today. So step 1, read the article. Step 2, create 4 questions from that article. Make sure that the non-correct answers are related to the topic. So my example is right there in the upper right-hand corner for you. You're going to circle your correct answer. Once you have all 4 questions completed, then you are going to work on one of your piano songs if you haven't gotten all of those done. Or if you have them done, you can do center choice. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.